All right, in the previous video, I showed you a writing assignment 5. Now I'm going to explain writing assignment 1, and I'm going to refer to writing assignment 5 as we do that. So I'm kind of looking here at the introduction of writing assignment 5 of the example I gave you. Now I'm going to cross back though, and we're going to look at the actual rubric for how I'm going to grade writing assignment 1. So it says, description of your Drosophila mutant phenotype. In this writing assignment, you will describe the phenotype characteristics of your mutant, compare and describe differences between your mutants and your wild type flies. So in other words, you've got wild types and you need to know what they look like, and then you have your mutant. And you need to compare those two, focusing on your mutant, not the wild type. In other words, I know what wild types look like. You can mention that it's, eyes are red, for instance, but I don't want you to focus on what the what the wild type looks like. I want you to focus on specifically what the mutant looks like. So include any life cycle differences between males and females, give your mutant a nickname, provide a rationale for the nickname. All right, all of these are things that you need to do, and they do that in writing assignment 5, and they do it in the example that I gave you. So examples of exactly what you should be doing are in writing assignment 5 example that I gave you. Now, up front, you need to use the proper font, spacing, margins, justification, and length. Okay, uses the correct grammar, spelling, etc. 1.5 to 2 pages of text, and 1 page for a figure and legends, and 1 page of references. You have an example of that in the writing assignment 5 that I gave you. So you can compare it to that, but realize you don't know exactly what they did then. If you're trying to copy the one that I gave you as writing assignment 5 as the example, realize the exact requirements may have changed. So don't duplicate it exactly, and absolutely don't plagiarize it. If I see somebody plagiarizing it, maybe you got a mutant that was very similar to the one that you have. If I see any similarities whatsoever, I'm going to flag that. Okay, so don't copy the writing assignment 5 example I gave you. You write your own. Okay. Now you have to use the right nomenclature, the way you use symbols and names, and I emphasized that in the previous video. Now, compare and contrast the mutants. All right, they do that in the writing assignment 5. Phenotypic differences, you need to come up with a nickname. They do that in the assignment, in the example assignment. You need to include 1 figure, and of course, I gave you examples of the figures in the writing assignment 5. Provide the name of 5 Drosophila melanogaster or other Drosophila species that, if mutated, could give rise to the mutant phenotype, and justify those choice of genes. Now, this is something that isn't in writing assignment 5, but that you will have to kind of look up. They do a little bit of it in writing assignment 5. You're going to need to do a little bit more here. Cite 5 peer-reviewed references in the proper formats. That format, of course, you can go look at writing assignment 5 and see how they did that. That's kind of the structure I want. The description could be used in the final semester paper. In other words, the whole idea is you want to use this just like when the person who wrote the example, they did this example and they used that in the paper that you're going to be reading, so you can go and compare that. All right, so this is how I'm grading, so just get the idea. I probably won't grade it that hard. I'm going to be looking, I'm going to check to see if you plagiarized it. Since I was nice enough to give you the writing assignment 5, I expect you to not copy it. All right, so please, I will check for that. And the other thing, I'm going to just check to make sure that you're getting the right fonts, the right size, the right formatting for the page. And hopefully you start doing it that way, and you'll be able to essentially just continue on in the future just using the same file. You take this one and then you just keep growing it until you get to writing assignment 5. Hopefully that's the way you'll do it. I think that's probably the easiest way to do it. Keep a backup of your writing assignment 1, but then take a copy of the writing assignment 1 and just expand on it as you go, and man, it'll make writing assignment 5 really easy when we get to the end. Okay, so besides that, we also have the description of the actual writing assignment. All right, so here I have the PowerPoints. I've uploaded these, or I will, to the to my files on the OneDrive. Let's see, and this video, of course, will be in on the YouTube channel. Write to your audience. Use that example paper I gave you. Compare and observe your notes. What is in a name? Your mutant name needs to be reasonable. All right. Just read that. I think you'll get that. Something that has to do with the mutation, what it looks like. The gene. You need to find the map location, which I'm going to make a video for helping you find the mapping location using the genome browser or with other ways. There are many ways to find the mapping location. The full name of the candidate gene, and do not forget to cite where the information came from. All right, your citations. Make a picture, absolutely. Pull pictures, copy and paste them. This is a good example. The ones in the paper I showed you are good examples. I think the ones in the paper I gave you are better than these. Let's see, make sure you have a legend if you need it. Let's see, this is a good one. I like this one. Actually, I still think the one in the paper I gave you is better. And then literature cited or references, however you want to say it. Try to put something in this. Now, some of these are a little, I would count off if you bolded the whole thing. So for me, this would be like a half a point off or something. It's out of 300, but it's just enough that I would go, nah, that's wrong. Make sure you do this right. That one's too blurry. I would probably take off half point or something, point out of 300. Make sure that you look at this. Make sure you have the heading right, so get it properly. We don't have groups or anything, so you don't have to put groups in ours. This is your order. First paragraph, written description. Look at WA5, the example one. See what they do. Second paragraph, 5 possible genes that you could be used in your mutation. We want 5. I don't think they used 5 in in the example, but you'll have to do a couple more. And then don't forget your literature cited. They said the student received a B, and then the one I gave you, they received an A. So you probably want to look at mine. Fun ways not to write. Don't limit. This is not the correct way. If you read this, this is too flowery, too not scientific enough, not precise, not. You have to be concise. You talk about the subject, you don't talk about anything else. You use descriptions that describe it exactly, that are exacting descriptions. You don't say, oh, it was beautiful. No, you say it was red, okay? That's kind of the thing you use in science. You don't say it was lovely. You say it was red, okay? Keep that in mind when you're writing this. Do not write it like a letter to your friend. You write this that makes sure that somebody knows exactly what you're talking about in very exact terms. All right, here we go. This is a reasonable example. Again, this example and the WA5 example I gave you are both good. This is great. Get the little arrows and AB. You probably ought to make this AB and CD or something if this were two different wings. Or what are they doing here? Oh, these are the eyes. I see. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think I like this one. This is nice. I like the pictures. Lots of arrows, but where are the? I want to know what these arrows are specifically. Be specific about what this is. No arrows up here either. Don't think I like that one. Good sample. Right. All right. Just keep in mind that this is what you're trying to do. Use the WA5 I gave you. Use this paper. You should do just fine on this. I don't think there's a set date yet, but there will be soon. I think they might have been waiting on me to get back into town, so they should set the date soon. So work hard. Ask me questions. I'm in town. I can get right back to you. No problem.